Now. Hey,
Hey,
we're live. I'm Jeff with eBay Addicts, and today my special guest is Blood, Sweat, and Sell, Leroy. How you doing today, Leroy?
good, good. Hi, how everybody? How you doing today?
Hey, good, good. I wanted to catch the people in the chat. I apologize for running a few minutes behind today. Today's just been one of those days today. So I want to say hi to American Made in the chat here. Bearded Veteran is here today, and our guest Leroy is here. So introduce yourself. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and where you're from and what you do, Leroy.
My name is Leroy Blood Sweat Cell. I live in Spartanburg, South Carolina. I sell on eBay, sell at flea markets, sell at swap meets. I thrift at state auctions. I thrift at Goodwill, the bins. I mean, yard sales, flea markets. I get around as much as I can.
Yeah. Speaking of getting around, you have been getting around lately, man. I saw you on Instagram. You met up with Buffalo Picker recently and Rev Resell. You have been getting around. Tell me a little bit about your adventures lately. How has it been?
I'm gonna just want to say hi in the chat real quick. I see Emily in there, and I see my daughter in there. So I want to say hello to everybody in the chats.
Yeah, and Small Town Picker is here. I want to say hello to Small Town Picker as well.
So yeah, I try to travel a little bit to go different places, different auctions, and sometimes I got to go visit family and stuff. And if it's in an area where there's a reseller that I can meet, I definitely like to try to go and say hello. It's a small community and it's really tight. So I try to meet up with people and, get a name with the face,
Oh, for sure. It's always nice to get to meet up with like-minded people and meet up with your friends. So yeah, I just wanted to say hi to Wendy in the chat. Emily Conway is here, and Penny and Small Town Picker. So Leroy, tell me a little bit more about yourself. And I see that I think you sell a lot of tools and things. And we got Rebel Junk. I always mispronounce your name. I'm sorry. I think it's Aaron, right? I think I saw you on Fundamentals of Side Hustling show on Wednesday, right? So go ahead, Leroy.
Yes, it's tools. I sell a lot of tools, but I do get into some other stuff. I try to switch around a little bit, but my go-to is tools. Everybody knows, my daughter knows I'm the tool guy. I go to flea markets. I sell mainly tools. My daughter calls it junk. She says, "Daddy, you going to buy more junk?" And I try to explain to her that it's not junk, it's tools, and they make money. A lot of people use tools, especially now with Corona and everything. People have to realize that tools are getting more and more where people have to use them because they can't afford. They've been out of work, or they need to fix stuff. Their mechanic's behind, or their carpenter is behind. Like, everybody's behind schedule, so some people have to buy tools to fix their own stuff.
Yeah. So what kind of tools is it specifically that you look for?
I like to specialize in hand tools, usable hand tools. Not big with power tools, but I do dabble in power tools. Enough to make some money. But like drills and stuff like that, I'd rather go with the accessories for the drills, the batteries. Well, not the batteries, but like the chargers and stuff like that. But a lot of tradesman tools, like a lot of tools for plumbers or mechanics, different kinds of snap-on and rigid, and there's a lot of different names of tools that I do look for.
Yeah, awesome. So if I'm at a pawn shop or a thrift store and I'm looking at tools, like, is there a certain name brands or models? Is there something that we should be looking for specifically?
Yeah, I mean, Snap-on. The pawn shops, they get a lot of Snap-on. DeWalt chargers. Milwaukee, Makita. Those are more of the power tool end. Rigid. There's a machinist tool called Sterrit. There is a Nicholson File. There's a lot of different names. But a lot of them, like Tradesman tools, like plumber tools for plumbers or mechanics, different kinds of snap-on and rigid. There's a machinist tool called Sterrit. There's a machinist tool called Sterrit. There's a I mean, there's a list that goes on and on. Stanley, today I was listing a small mini Stanley. I have it here, just a small mini Stanley plane, and this right here is probably worth about $20. Just a small plane. Um, people they use it. It's a specialty tool, so they might use it on certain crafts or airplanes when they make airplanes.
Really? Okay. Emily Conway had a question in the chat. She says, "What power tool name brands do you look for?"
Like I said, DeWalt, Makita, Rigid. They all have power tools. That I'll look for their chargers. Hilti, that's more of a construction tool, but Hilti. And you guys got to remember as well, if you go to a yard sale and you see one of these tools, and it looks like it's beat up, if you can get it for a couple of bucks, don't be afraid to grab it, because it's you could piece it out. Sometimes I'll buy like leaf blowers. I have some leaf blowers and old weed whackers here, and those I take them apart a little bit, and if I buy them for $5, I'll piece them out for about 30.
Okay, cool. I wanted to catch a few people in the chat real quick, Leroy. We got Mary Peretti. I don't know if I pronounced your name properly. I apologize if I didn't. We got Small Town Picker here. We got Eric from OBX Picker stopped by, and Wendy is here. So Emily has a question, and she says, "What is your best tool flip?"
My best tool flip. Okay, my best flip is not a tool, but my best tool flip. I'll just say one of them because sometimes I forget. I've been selling for a while, so
Yeah.
It's probably some rigid stuff. So rigid is pipe wrenches, and it's a lot of like plumbing tools. A lot of rigid stuff. I do very well with some of the big pipe wrenches and ratchet wrenches and stuff like that. They can go for a couple $100.
Really? All right. Now I have a question about the shipping costs. Like some of these tools can be heavy and bulky. You ship them out like flat rate priority, or how do you ship out some of these tools? Like some of these wrenches and stuff like that, they can be kind of cumbersome to ship, can't they?
95% of my tools are under a pound.
Really?
95% of the stuff that I sell is first class. Only thing I really keep in stock is poly bags and padded flat rate envelopes. That's what I use almost every day. When I do ship out some bigger stuff, to be honest with you guys, I just send it out through the post office. A lot of people do different. I just factor it in, and I factor it in, and I just just go to the post office. I don't really jump around with different carriers and stuff like that. I don't sell that much of it to have to worry about that.
Okay, Leroy. So, tell me, I read on your Instagram, it says you've got 20 years experience in reselling. Could you have any tips or tricks or trades that you could give us, you could pass along to some of our viewers? And I want to say hi to Jennifer Hayes stopping in. I hope you're doing better. I heard that you had hurt your wrist, so I hope you're doing better, and I hope you're feeling better. So go ahead, Leroy. Give us the goods. Give us the info. Tell us all the good, the bad, and everything that goes with it. Give us the info, Leroy.
You can't. First of all, you can't be afraid. Starting off when I was 20 years old, I used to go to swap meets, and there was a lot of older guys, and they have all these big campers, and they're making thousands of dollars in a weekend, and I was like, I can't do that, like. But my overhead was a lot cheaper than theirs was, so I had to just go in where Leroy fit in and do the best that I could do. So that's sort of where I got my start, was swap meets and flea markets. And then what I started doing was I started doing eBay back when you had to mail the check, and yeah, the whole story a lot of people know, but um, you know, you got to pay attention. You know, if you feel that it's something, whatever your niche is. So a lot of people in here, you know, say you do photographs, say you do vintage photographs. Well, if you do a vintage photograph and normally they're 5 by 6, so I don't know the sizes, but whatever the size is, and you come across one that's 6 by 9, well, pick that up because you've never seen it before. Some of my best flips um, are because I pick it up because I'm not afraid because I've never seen it before. Because we all have some kind of a niche, and you got to look for those things that it don't. I don't even comp my stuff. Like I don't go running around comping everything. If I got to pay more than $20, then I'm gonna comp it. But if it's under $20 and I've never seen it and I've dealt with thousands of tools a year, I'm not comping. I'm putting it in my pocket, like, and get to the next one. And even if I only make $5 on it, it's a learning experience for me because you have to learn. So if you don't take that gamble and say, hey, you know what, I've never seen this before, but it's what the guy wants $10 for it. I got him down to $8, and then you realize it's worth a lot more money. I sold two General Lee cars, and I do tools, but I do sell other stuff. Two die cast cars, and I sold one. The little one I sold for 80, and the big one I sold for 100. And I knew nothing about die cast cars.
Awesome. Yeah, we have a question in the chat from Wendy. She says, do you sell other items other than tools? So is there any other niches or any other categories that you like to sell other than tools?
Parts and pieces, but in my eyes, that falls under, like plumbing parts and electrical parts for your house and stuff like that. But that falls under tools in my eyes. But like I said, I picked up a couple die cast cars. I do a lot of sourcing right now at a local flea market. So if I see something, that I see some of you guys, I might give it a shot. But it's mainly tools, guys. I try to get into other stuff, but it's hard. Like over the weekend, I went and I got some. I was in Georgia, and I went to a estate sale, and they had patches, and they were just local patches, just for a local soccer league. There's probably about 40 of them, and I picked them. I picked them up because subject matter. I said if I can get them all, if I got them all for $5, I said that's a subject matter issue, and they're all 1999 and 2000, so they're over 20 years old. So I did grab those.
So Leroy, how has your sales been this year? Like overall, like your sales, have it been up? Has it been down? With everything that's been going on, how has your sales been overall this year?
It's okay. Sometimes it's really high. I did take 2 months off because I went up north because my daughter lives up north and stuff in my family. So I did take 2 months off to go up north. So I'm just getting back in track. But just before COVID, or just when COVID started, I actually did really well. Because Amazon had shut down. Well, they didn't shut down, but their shipping was, so a lot of us eBay people did really well. And like I said, it's tools. So, people had to buy tools instead of go to a mechanic and stuff.
Okay. Hey, Leroy, I sent you a message the other day on Instagram, and you messaged me back. I think you were at a flea market. Can you talk a little bit about flea markets? Because I don't sell a lot of flea markets. Can you give us some heads up or insight on your deal at the flea markets?
I first and foremost, I like the rush. I wake up early and I gotta set up my tables and figure out how I'm gonna set my tables up, and I like to just you're one-on-one with customers. It's not through the computer, and I am a one-on-one person. So you just build relationships, and you just you can nickel and dime. They try to nickel and dime you, but you can do it right in front of them, and you can read them. You can tell where they're gonna pop. And my motto at the flea market is, if they pick it up, then I'm gonna try my hardest to not let them walk away without it.
Yeah, well, the good thing is if you sell face to face, you're not having to deal with the eBay fees and PayPal fees and shipping costs and all that stuff. And so that's one thing that you can eliminate. But
Yeah.
on an average, like on an average day, what kind of sales could you make at a place like that? I'm just trying to get insight in case somebody else is maybe interested in maybe setting up a booth at a flea market. Could you give us some more insight on how we would do that and how to have that set up? I want to say hi real quick to Greg, Jennifer Hayes. She just dropped your Instagram on IG. I wanted to say hi to Emily Conway and Wendy here. So if you guys have questions for Leroy, drop it in the chat. Okay, go ahead.
Can you repeat your question again?
I'm not trying to be rude. I just asked you a question. I said, if somebody was interested and let's say that they wanted to set up a booth in a flea market, and I wanted to ask you a question, how would they do that? What kind of money could we make in sales at the flea market? And do you do sourcing at the flea market as well? Do you happen to go by and look at other booths? Go ahead, Leroy.
Okay, so look at your local flea market. My best friend when it comes to that is Google. I'll just go on Google and I'll type in flea market in Richmond. Just say it's Richmond, Virginia, and I'll type in flea market in Richmond. A list will come up with like 5 or 6 of them, and then I'll also look at the stars. So the stars will say their rating is 4.5 or 3 or 2, and I try to stay in the 4s. I try to stay in the 4s, and then I'll call them up and I'll sort of pick their brain a little bit because I don't know that flea market because I do travel sometimes. And you ask them how much a table is. Most of them have a website, and you get a booth with you set up. You figure out what you can set up or how many things you need to get how much you got into it before you even get there. Some of my tables go from $5 all the way up to $100, depending on where I am in the States. If I'm up in Rhode Island, then it costs, there's a couple of spots in New York I pay $100 for one spot, but down here in the South it's like $5.
Okay, Small Town Picker says, do you buy wholesale to sell at the flea market?
I don't know if you would call it wholesale. I like to buy a lot at estate auctions. So I buy in bulk. So I'll buy box lots.
Yeah. So when you're at an estate sale, do you like put a big pile together and then say, hey, how much is this whole pile? And what's your strategy when you go to these estate sales, Leroy?
So there's a difference between estate sales and estate auctions. And
go ahead.
An estate sale is where you pay piece by piece. In a state auction, you actually have to bid on the item, just like the bidding sites that everybody uses now online. It's the same thing, but in person when we have them in person. Mostly what I will bid on is box lots. So they'll have like a bare flat, and they'll have maybe 30 tools in it, and I'll bid accordingly to what I think that box is worth. I mean, I've paid $5. I've paid $500 for one box. I mean, depending on, to me, what's in it. But when you're buying 30 pieces, you're not really buying that one box. You're buying those 30 pieces. So if you buy a box for $40 and you sell 4 pieces for $15, you've already made your money. And then you got 5. Then then that's usually my eBay items. And then the rest of it, I'll do $5, $15, $20 at the flea market. So you had asked me a question, Jeff, when I'm at the flea market, what I make. And, sometimes it's really low because I don't sell high dollar items at the flea market. I sell $5, $10, $15 items. So I can make, $150, $300 in a day. But in the location where I am right now, that's about it. When I go to the swap meets and the bigger shows, then you can make, $5 to $1,000 in a weekend.
All right, awesome. So, Leroy, what kind of profit margins are you looking for? Let's say I'm at a yard sale or an estate sale and you want to buy a tool. Like, are you looking to buy a tool for 50 cents and sell it for 10, 15, 20 bucks? Like, what's your profit margin you're looking at when you deciding whether you want to pick this item up or not? I'm just curious. Like, if I'm with you, like, let's say I'm a bird on your shoulder, I'm walking with you and I'm at this estate sale because I know nothing about selling tools. I'm just being honest with you. So if I'm with you and I'm saying we're looking at these tools here, Do you try to negotiate? Do you just say, hey, you're asking $1 for this tool, you just pay full asking price? Or do you look at it and say, okay, hey, I see that tool there, they're asking $1 for it, it's a Craftsman socket wrench or whatever, and I know it sells for 25 on eBay. Like, you a lot of the stuff you don't have to comp and look it up, because you've had so much experience of selling the same items over and over again that you don't have to sit here and type it in on your phone and see what it's selling for. You already know from experience from selling that same item or a similar item. But go ahead.
I'm going to be honest. I mean, I will, if I buy something for $2 and it's only worth 10, I'm buying it. Like, I'll buy it for 2 and sell for 5. You know, most of that stuff would be the flea market. But, you know, if I buy something, like I told you guys earlier, if I buy something and it's a tool and I've never seen it before, and the guy wants $15 for it, but I've never seen it, I'll take that gamble. And that gamble usually pays out for me. And if not, I'm getting knowledge on that item. So, you know, it all depends on where, you know, everybody has different avenues, how they want to work. I have 2 platforms. So I have eBay. I mean, I do a little bit of Facebook too, but I have eBay and the flea markets. So with the flea markets, I mean, I can sell a lot of low dollar items. I mean, there's days where I'll do 50-cent sales and still make a couple $100. To a lot of people, they wouldn't get out of bed for that. But for me, it's a hustle and it's an honest living, and I actually enjoy it. I actually enjoy those days more than when I sell, you know, regular price, because the 50-cent days, you don't stop.
Yep. Hey, Leroy, I want to catch some people in the chat. We got Emily Conway here. We got Marie. And we got Prison to Profit here. Jennifer Hayes. We got Rebel Junk here. Wendy. And then we have a really important question in the chat here from Prison to Profit. This is the question everybody wants to know. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. It says, when is he going to start a YouTube channel? That's the question everybody wants to know. And on top of that, Emily Conway says right here, she says, Leroy, if you start a YouTube channel, we got you, with a yellow heart. So that's the question everybody wants to know about. Can you give us the info? Give us the update of what's going on with Leroy's future endeavors with this YouTube channel. Tell us the info.
It will be sooner than later. I can't say exactly when. I'm working on it. I do a little bit of homework every day to try to figure out, you know, different ways on how you're supposed to do the editing. So I have been every day I'll watch a couple of videos and just try to, you know, get an idea of exactly how it works. I think I'm looking into it too much, and I need to just put it out there, even if it's pretty raw. I know Dante, when he first started doing his videos, he didn't do much editing. So, you know, that's something that I definitely need to get on.
Hey, yeah. Emily Conway says, Leroy, no crazy editing needing. So Jennifer just dropped your link. I'm going to drop your link down below to your Instagram and YouTube as well. But Leroy, you can just do what we're doing right now. Just do a live stream and just hang out. We don't have to do any editing. Everything's just laid back, relaxed. You're just hanging out amongst friends, and you could just start off that way. You don't have to sit here and do, you know, figure out 100 words and try to figure all the editing. You could just do a live stream, have guests on, bring on OBX Picker or get Emily Conway, and just have some people on your show and just talk and hang out, and people will support you, and you know, it'll grow over time. So here we go. Jennifer Hayes just dropped your Instagram. Like I said, I'm going to drop your Instagram and YouTube down below. Now, Wendy says he's already at 71 subscribers, and I'm subbed already. So matter of fact, as soon as the show is over, I'm going to go subscribe to your channel, Leroy. I didn't even know you had a channel till I got you on the show. I saw you on Instagram, but I didn't know you had a channel. But as soon as we get off the show today, I'm going to go subscribe. And Prison to Profit says, I want to be your first guest, Leroy. You know, he says, I better be your first guest. So he's already called first dibs. So
well, he doesn't know, but we're gonna do a sit down in the next couple of weeks, so I can watch him do some editing. I don't care if it's at McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts.
So you're gonna track him down in person. Forget this StreamYard stuff. You're gonna track him down in person. So if you get a knock at your door, Dante, if you get a knock at your door, it might be Leroy. So you better look out. So Leroy, we started for the show. You said you wanted to ask me some questions. Is there anything off the top of your head that you wanted to ask me? And then we'll ask you some more questions. Go ahead.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I mean, I don't really, I don't know exactly what you sell or what your niche is. So, what is your niche?
Right now, Leroy, I sell mostly media items. I don't know if you know or not, but back in a while back when eBay switched over from doing PayPal over to managed payments, they opened up this little window. Okay, now with this window, you can have a basic store, and the store is like $21 a month for your basic store. Okay, they give you 10,000 free listings in these 10 select categories, okay? So 10 select categories are a lot of items that I sell. Blu-rays, DVDs, VHS tapes, video games, CDs, etc. There's like 10 different categories. I don't have it all memorized, but there's 10 different categories. And if your items fall in these 10 categories, then you pay zero insertion fees. So basically what that means is at the end of the 30 days, if the 30 days lapse, at the end of the 30 days, if your item doesn't sell, it relists the next month and you pay zero insertion fees and you get 10,000 free listings. So right now I'm at about 4,300 items on my main eBay store. I have 2 eBay stores. And my main eBay store, I'm at 4,300 items. And my goal is to try to max it out and max out those 10,000 free listings. So that's what I try to do, is get a bunch of media items. For example, I think I made a video a couple of weeks ago and I showed us, I bought a bunch of DVDs new in the shrink wrap. And I bought them a big like wholesale lot on eBay and had them shipped to my door. And I paid 56 cents a piece for them. Okay. So I don't have no more than 56 cents a piece tied up in the media items. And then you have to understand, if you have 200 of them shipped to your door, I think I spent like $147, $150 for all of them shipped to my door. Okay. So now I've got 56 cents a piece tied up in them. And then I'll turn around and list them on eBay. And I don't list none of them for less than $10, no matter what, even if it's the most terrible title in the world. Because you have to understand, these media items like DVDs that are new in the shrink wrap, they're not making them anymore. They can't go to Target or Walmart or Best Buy and buy them because they're discontinued. They can only get them on eBay. So I don't lower my price. I say, hey, it's $10. That's the minimum. Plus I make the buyer pay shipping. And that's kind of what I'm populating my eBay store with. And then if I'm out somewhere at a yard sale or a thrift store or a pawn shop, if I can get video games for 50 cents or $1 a piece, I grab them. I mean, I had a video game that I paid $1 for, and next week it sold for $50 on eBay. So that's kind of what my niche is right now. I'm actually looking, if you go on eBay right now, there's a link that I've been watching. This guy has 1,000 CDs that are new in the shrink wrap, okay? He's asking, his listing is for 500 CDs new in the shrink wrap, and he's asking $200 shipped to your door, okay? So your buy cost is 40 cents. So you could, if you turn 40 cents into $10, that's a 25x on your money, okay? So if you do that, let's say you buy 1,000 of them for $400 shipped to your door, you're turning $400 into 1,000 CDs. Now, if you sell those 1,000 CDs for at least $10 a piece, many of them is going to sell for $15, $16, $17, $20. But let's say you just get $10 a piece times 1,000. You turn $400 into $10,000 worth of merchandise. And I didn't have to spend all day in 100-degree heat, spending my gas money, fighting traffic, waiting in line, getting yelled at for not wearing a mask, waiting in line to check out. I don't have to deal with all that. I just press a button and boom, it's shipped to my door. So like I was telling you earlier, since this whole outbreak started this year, it's more difficult for me to go sourcing because I source at a lot of pawn shops. And I can't do that because they only allow 5 customers in the building at a time. And I'm not waiting out here in 90-degree heat and spending, 10, 15, 20 minutes out of my day just to stand in line to have the opportunity to walk into a pawn shop and maybe get 3, 4, 5 items. So I can take my time and use it and more wisely listing items instead of waiting in line to walk into the store, waiting in line to check out, spending my time and gas money, finding a parking spot. I don't have nothing against it. It's just right now with all these lockdowns and restrictions, it's more difficult for me to go sourcing. Anyways, I want to catch everybody in the chat real quick. I know I talk fast sometimes, so I want to catch Nikki Pink Thrift is here. So I want to say hi to Nikki Pink Thrift. I hope you're doing well. We got Mary here. We got a Bearded Thrift Machine. Jennifer Hayes is here. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Nikki Pink Thrift says, "You want to meet up for a social distancing party?" I know, right? And and, and we got a bearded thrift machine here, a bearded veteran. We got a Rebel Junk is in the house, and Emily Conway. So if I missed you, I apologize. She says, Jeff, if they chat and they have a channel, whether or not they have content, it's a different story. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and sub to Leroy and give him a boost, give him a head start. So as soon as you launch your first video, you'll already have 100 subscribers. Let's make that happen, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and link his channel down below. So if you guys get a chance, go ahead and sub to Leroy. So Leroy, give us the info, man. Give us some more info on your all your whole strategy with eBay. Like, if you don't have tools, like how many items do you currently have listed in your eBay store?
Not a lot. like I said, I had just got back and I reamped my store, so I'm a little under 200 right now. I'm trying to list about 20 a day, and I'm hitting that quota. So, but I sell fast because I don't try to sell everything at top dollar. If something's listed, I know I got pennies into my stuff. So if something is listed for $14 and I just want to move it, I will definitely put it on for $11 or $10 just to move it. So what I have in my store, I usually, right now, I think I don't know what my eBay is, but I think it's at like 100 and 140. I'm selling almost a month. So, I'm trying to get my listings back up there. I don't have the numbers you guys have, but I also have the flea market too. So
okay, Leroy. So talk to me a little bit about. I want to know a little bit more about your personal life. How is it that you manage? You're being a dad, right? You have a family as well. You're going to be a content creator and a reseller. So give us your strategy. How is it that you planning on balancing everything?
I spend most of my day with this flag behind me, so that means I'm at the warehouse most of the time. My daughter lives with her mom up north, so I don't live with my daughter. But I just focus on work and trying to build my business. I mean, like I said, I've been doing it for a long time, but just moving down here, I still have more items that need to come down here from up north. When you're a reseller for 20 years, your death pile is very big, unless your name is Julian. Julian doesn't have a death pile. I say that with a little bit of jealousy.
It's okay. I kind of like having a little bit of a death pile. That way, if it's pouring down rain or something and I don't want to go outside, I have a pile of items right here I can get busy and get listed,
Yeah.
So Leroy, this is the question that I want to ask you. You've been reselling for 20 years. Give me the info. Give me your top 3 tips. If I'm a reseller, give me your top 3 tips that's going to give me a boost and help me get started on the platform, on the way to success on selling on eBay. Give us your top 3 tips that would help somebody be successful. Go ahead.
My biggest tip is sell stuff around your house. If you're a beginner, sell stuff around your house. Ask your relatives. Like I always say this, ask your neighbor, explain to them what you're doing. Tell your aunt, tell your uncle, this is the holiday season. Like we're not really going to be visiting family, but if you tell them when you do visit them at a birthday party or whatever, tell them what you do. Say, hey, starting to be a reseller, and they're gonna pour into you if you're a good person, and they're gonna give you boxes of stuff for free. And when they do that, that's just gonna give you, and you're gonna get knowledge from that. Don't be afraid if you have a niche. Like I say, I have a niche, but I do go to Goodwill Bins and I will buy toys and stuff like that. I do sell other stuff, but I just don't know a lot about it. But don't be afraid to go somewhere, an auction, or I went to an estate sale and they had patches and baseball stuff. I know nothing about that, but I bought it. It was cheap. So, you can't be afraid to go into something else. Just make sure you don't put a ton of money into it. Don't go putting $500-$600 into something you have no idea about, or because you see Leroy selling tools, now you want to go spend $800 in tools. It's not that easy. One of my good friends in the chat, Julian, he does like golf clubs, and I've tried to sell golf clubs for a buddy of mine, and I'll tell you, it's not easy. Like golf clubs is a pain in the neck in my eyes. So you can't just jump and do something that somebody else does. You gotta have passion for what you're selling.
Okay, awesome. I wanted to say hi to a Lone Star Picker. He says, eBay Addicts and Leroy, you guys rock. Thank you for coming by, Lone Star Picker. We appreciate you. And we got a Bearded Thrift Machine here. Nikki Pink Thrift is here. Emily Conway is still here. She says hi to Louie. And I have a comment here from the chat. It says, my neighbors ask me if I have what they are looking for before they go look elsewhere. That's awesome. Yeah. They just you're just a neighborly merchant. They come knock on your door before they go to the street. That's awesome. Yep. So Leroy, tell people where they can find you at on Instagram and YouTube. Tell people where they can find you at, because I want people to go subscribe to your channel. Go ahead.
On YouTube, it's Blood, Sweat, and Sell on YouTube, and on Instagram, it's Blood, Sweat, Sell, all one word. And those are the only two platforms. One, but I do upload on Instagram a lot, so I'm usually posting at least 1 or 2 times a day. And
hey, I got a question. I never asked you this, Leroy. Are you a full-time reseller now, or do you have another job that you're working?
Full-time, but I do side jobs on the side. So, I was a union laborer for 15 years, and I had a landscape business for 15 years. So I have a lot of experience in other things, and sometimes I like to do those other things. So I'll go and I'll do side jobs or pick up a little job here and there, just to keep my mind off, not stuck on eBay and get burnt out.
Okay, Leroy, tell me a little bit about, you said you go to the Goodwill Bins sometimes. Can you enlighten us and tell us the good and the bad? Tell us everything about the Goodwill Bins, because I haven't been in years. So tell the people, if they've never been, what do we need to look out for?
The first time you go to the bins, you're going to be shocked and you're going to laugh inside, because it's funny. You have a bunch of grown adults running to a cart to try to find the same thing, even though it's not the same thing. And, it's a rush. There's a big rush. Like I'm saying, like inside, there's a rush to get to the bins, but there's also a rush inside of you. And you're just like, what can I find? Can I find that next thing? And then a lot of times with that, you got to be careful, because you're doing impulse buying. Because you'll take it, put it in your cart, and you'll look at it quick, and you might see one comp that says $300 or $15, but then realize it was shipped out of the country, or it was a different model than what you typed in, because you're in a rush. So you definitely have to be cautious too when you're doing those kind of like Goodwill and stuff like that, because you're doing impulse buying, in my eyes. I don't do any bins like pallet buys. I haven't done that yet, but I do storage units a couple times a year. I'll buy a couple of storage units. I've been doing that for a while. That's really tough. And like I've told you guys before, honestly, my favorite is estate auctions, not estate sales, estate auctions. Like when you go to an estate auction, you're going to be there for 5 hours. You're going to be there from beginning to end. Before I get to any estate auction, I'm looking at pictures. I've already have 15 to 20 hours invested in just looking at pictures and researching the pictures. I know what's at the auction before most of the people that get there, because I've dissected every picture, and I've been doing this for years. And the way I find my estate auctions is Auction Zip. I've been dealing with Auction Zip forever.
Okay. We have a question in the chat here. It says, question for Leroy. You have one unique piece of equipment for your business, regardless of price. What's the item that you use to help you be more efficient with your reselling business, I believe? Go ahead.
I'm gonna answer that with the first thing that came in my head, and that would be the flea markets. My efficient piece would be my vehicle and my tables. That's for the flea market, and then for the eBay part of it, it would be my computer. It's a little tough for me to spell and stuff like that. So a lot of my listings, I have to do talk to text. So my computer is very important, and that's sort of why it takes me a little longer. But if you want to see that story, go to Emily Conway's channel, and it says Meet Leroy. and you'll see that on YouTube. That was a very good. She got deep into my story, but you just got to you got to keep pushing.
Okay. We got Dragon Value Home. He's here in the chat. I wanted to say hi to Dragon. How are you doing today? Hey, so Leroy, I wanted to ask you a quick question. Give us some strategy or techniques. Okay, if I'm at the Goodwill Bins, what should I look at? Because so I don't impulse buy. And let's say that I'm at a storage unit and I'm thinking about buying a storage unit. Do you have any suggestions or recommendations? Because sometimes when you're at a storage unit, it's like they don't let you go through the items. You're kind of like just buying everything in a bulk lot. Can you tell us a little bit more about what some tips or strategies or pointers if I'm at the Goodwill Bins and at a storage locker? Give us the info.
When I'm buying at a storage unit, I'm buying bulk anyway. So I'm gonna see how many boxes there are, and I'm gonna look at each box and I'm gonna say that box is worth $5. If I can see what's in it or not. Every box I'm just gonna count it as I put different numbers in my head depending on what I'm looking at. But I'll look at a unit and I'll be like, okay, I see 25 boxes or pieces, and each piece is worth $5. So that right there is $100. I paid $100 for it, and then I didn't see what was behind it. So hopefully there's another 20 boxes or 20 pieces of something behind it. So, okay, now I doubled my money. I don't really put in what you pay for trash and all that stuff. I don't really let that play with me. I just do what I got to do and make the money that I need to make. And then with I actually forgot the other question, but
yeah. No, I was asking about your storage unit, and I was asking you if you could give us some tips or tricks if we're at a Goodwill Bins, because that's where they charge you by the pound, right?
Yeah, and when you're at the Goodwill Bins, grab everything you can. If you're one of the door dashers, I'm a door dasher, meaning I'm waiting an hour and a half, 2 hours before you get there, and I'm gonna run in with everybody else. That's when I like to go. When they do the bins, I'm a door dasher. So when you do that, grab everything that you're sure, you're not sure. I mean, don't overdo it because you're not going to fit it all in your cart. But grab everything you can, then go over to a corner, get yourself a little corner, and start. You can start comping the stuff, and then you can put back what you don't want. But when you're doing that, when you're buying quick like that, you're going to make sure that you're going to get your money's worth. Like you said, it's by the pound. I know guys. You said you do a lot of media. I know guys that do very good at the Goodwill Bins with media.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if you guys know. I've been watching this guy called Urban Picker, and he has over 22,000 items listed in his eBay store, and he sells a lot of media, and he's been doing about $20,000 a month in sales. So he sells a lot of cassette tapes and CDs and DVDs and media. So I've been kind of watching other resellers, so that way I can try to get pieces of things that I can incorporate in my business, so I can be more efficient. So Leroy, I wanted to say hi to a couple people in the chat. It's been flying today. We got Jennifer Hayes here. We got the Bargain Effect. We got Dragon Value here in the house. Jennifer Hayes says Bargain Effect is 5 away from 600. Help him get there. Lone Star Picker here. Nikki Pink Thrift and Girl Hustle is here. So if I missed you, Emily Conway is here. So if I missed you guys, I apologize. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat. We got the Shamrock Pixie is here. Thanks for stopping by. So, Leroy, give me any other tips or tricks or pointers that you can think of off the top of your head that would help somebody in their reselling adventures. If someone is a part-time reseller, let's say, and they want to go full-time, what type of advice would you have? I mean, I was in live stream the other day. I think it was Tuesday night with the Nurse Flipper and Joey Bada Bing. He's a 23-year-old guy. He was thinking about quitting his job, working at the post office, and wants to go being a full-time reseller. If someone is like that and they're in that situation and they're considering going full-time, what advice would you give them?
Don't overpay or put yourself out there and get too much inventory. Don't get if you don't know what you're doing, don't go and bulk buy 4 or 5 pallets and you're not sure what it's worth, or you don't have that niche in it. But you just gotta stick with your gut. I left a big job, and decided to totally do this full time. I mean, I was doing it almost full time anyway. But you just got to stick with your gut and make sure that you know what you're doing and like what you're doing. You know, I could sell shoes and not like it, and be in and out in a year. But I've always sold the things that I am really passionate about, and that's tools. Do I know a ton about them? No, I learn every day. And there's some tools I won't even touch because they're out of my wheelhouse. But you definitely have to you just try and just go out there, and if there's something you might not like nursing stuff, but if you're a nurse and you know nursing equipment or anything like that, that might be where your niche is. If you don't like jewelry, but your family sells jewelry, or you had a family store for a long time, like go, that might be a niche. You might not like it, like I said, but you know a lot about it. So am I back talking a little bit? Probably, because I said if you're passionate about it, but if you have really a lot of knowledge in it, then for now you need to go into where that knowledge is. If you know about cars, if you used to race cars, or your husband used to do race cars, you those are the things that you can do to start yourself up to get a good base.
Okay, cool. I wanted to say hi to Nana Tink Treasures in the chat. If you guys haven't subscribed to Nana Tink, she's trying to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So please do her a favor and go subscribe to her channel. I don't have the link on me, but it's Nana Tink Treasures. I want to say hi to Shamrock in the house. We got Emily Conway is here. There we go. Jennifer Hayes linked her channel down below to Nana Tink Treasures. Then we have Dragon Value here. He says, I'm going to sub to everyone. I can check you guys out. And Nana says she just finished her listing everything challenge. So that's awesome, guys. So get to listing. And here's Leroy's channel. He's going to start making content very soon. So go subscribe to Leroy. I want to say hi to Gravity Goods in the chat. Nikki Pink Thrift is here. Bearded Thrift Machine Julian. I want to let you guys know I was at your live stream with Nurse Flipper the other day. You guys had a good live stream. And let's see. When Emily Conway says, everybody in the chat, after the show, you're listing your death pile, enter to win $100. So that would be great. And we have Solo Seller here. It says, howdy, friends. Okay, guys. So Give me your final thoughts, Leroy. We've had you on the show for about an hour today. Give me your final thoughts that you have off the top of your head that would that you wanted to say before we let you go.
First of all, I want to say thank you very much for allowing me to be on your show. And for having patience with me, you've been asking me for a while, and I've been jumping around and just trying to get the time. But thank you very much for allowing me to be on your show. That's very important to me. And everybody, be patient with me. I will have videos soon on YouTube. And if somebody can put it in the chat really quick, I do have a question while I'm here. Can you start off with shorts? Because I know they just started the shorts on YouTube. Do you have to have so many subscribers to be able to do shorts? That's something I'll read later. I just want to throw that out there real quick. And I do post on Instagram a lot. So please follow my Instagram.
Okay, awesome, Leroy. I'm going to link your channel down below. I don't think that you have to have enough subscribers to just do short videos. Like I said, if I was you, just to get more comfortable behind the camera, I would just bring a guest on. Like I said, get Emily Conway or Prison of Profit or Harry Tornado, and just hit up one of these guys and ask them to be on your show, and you can kind of just sit back and chill and relax, have a kind of a laid back setting. Get Lone Star Picker, get him on your show. That would be a great guest. Just track Louis, Lone Star Picker. Say, hey Louis, I want you to come on my show. Get one of these guys, track them down, and then pick their brain, ask them questions, and go from there. I've seen some of the guys, they just pull out a camera and just do a live listing, and they'll just sit there and list items on the live stream. So you just want to get comfortable around the camera, and then, like I said, it'll progress naturally. You'll get the hang of it. I'm going to go subscribe to Leroy as soon as we're off the air, and I'm going to link his channel down below, so you guys go check it out. I got to run. It's about to be dark here, so I'm going to head out and get to work. You guys have a great day, and go subscribe to Leroy's channel. You'll have a great day. See you later, guys. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Thanks you, everybody.
All right. Catch you later, Leroy. Bye.
See ya.